Now, the first tip for searching the 1921 England and Wales census is that you can actually search for a household and see who's in it without paying for the record. And you can do that by simply searching in Find My Past and hovering over on the search result. Then it gives you usually 3 people who are in the household. So for me, that's always been enough to determine who was there. And it's also surprising how many other people with a similar name there were at the same time. So this is really helpful. So make sure you do that before you pay. The next tip is to buy the record image rather than the transcript on Find My Past. Now, the transcript contains all the information in one neat package, sure. However, the record image actually has the head of the household's handwriting. So if it's an ancestor, you can see their handwriting, their signature. So for me, that's much better. Now, yes, there can be problems trying to read it. So you could buy the transcript if you need it. In my case, there was only one letter that I couldn't figure out. And after a bit of Googling, bit of Facebook searching and thinking, I got there in the end anyway. I would recommend most people to buy the record image first and then decide if they need the transcript after, but they can make it themselves. Next tip is to start with the least common name in the household, because all the names are recorded equally, but if you've got a very common name, for example, my great-great-grandfather John Worthing, there are a lot of those people, even in areas you might not expect. But if you've got, let's say, his daughter Cornelia Worthing, much less common name, then it becomes much more easy to drill down and find that person. So start with the name that you think is probably the most unusual. Now, this could be because I just know Cornelia is not a common name in this country. It could be somebody who has an English surname living in Wales, Welsh surname living in England. But a little bit of Googling and detective work can help you to figure that out. And if you're not sure what surnames came from which places, the website forbears.io is a really handy and quick free resource to help you do that. This should help you narrow down your search results and have fewer pages to search at the end, maybe even just a few records. Next up, if you found this helpful in any way, please hit that like button, as it helps more people to see this video and it really helps me as a creator. Following on, remember to use wildcard searches if you're having trouble finding the people you want in the 1921 census. Now, what is that? Simply put an asterisk in place of a letter in your search. For example, my great-grandfather Morgan Reynolds Morgan, but when I searched for him, I wasn't finding him. Turns out there was a transcription error in his name and they'd put a Y instead of a G because they'd misread it. Now, if I put an asterisk after the R, so M-O-R, then I can find him very easily and it returns all the results because the asterisk could be any character. So if you're having trouble, you can put that and anything that comes after it will come up, or you can put it in place of a letter you're not sure about. It might be surnames or names with variations in spelling, might have been transcribed incorrectly, and that will help you to get more census results when you can't find the person you are looking for. Next tip is after you've tried searching all the different ways we've mentioned, and if you still can't find them, then search for an address. Now, if you're not sure of the address, the best thing is to first go back to the 1911 census and find them there and see what address they were in. Then you can search that same address in 1921 and see if it comes up. Failing that, you can try searching the electoral roll or any other employment records that you might know about them to get closer to where their address might be in the 21 census. By doing that, you should be able to find some ancestors. I know I had to use this to find one of my own ancestors because of a transcription error in the name entered for them on the system. The next tip is to try again, because the first few times I was searching for a certain ancestor, I was getting anywhere from 0 to 5 results when I put in the same information at different times. First time I didn't have time to really go through with it, but I kept seeing different results. So what I think this was down to is the Find My Past being inundated with requests because of the new release. So if you're getting 0 results, either wait a few minutes and try again, or just modify a couple of the variables, pull back on the data, or you can just remove some of the entries, just search for a name and address or name and a year and just keep working back and forth. I found it to be a little bit strange in terms of behavior, but in the end I've always got there and it's been helpful to do it that way. Now, next step for you is to check out my detailed video on the 1921 census. It's really going to help you. Can't recommend it strongly enough. Go there now and I'll see you over there.